Hi guys, and welcome to Dr. Lou's Low Carb Diet. I'm Dr. Lou, and today we have another fantastic meat bar for review. Rome pork bar. This one here has lower protein than the others, 13.7, and unfortunately has higher carbs at 5.1 per bar. Now, this is still within the range of being, acceptable. People argue, at what time does it not become a ketogenic snack? Some say 4, some say 5. I'd say if it's hitting over 10, usually don't touch it. You can actually go up to 20 as long as you're doing hardcore keto. So hardcore keto, as in the sense of eating just eggs, bacon, a steak, anything with zero carbs. And okay, so we can see obviously it's got a decent high quality product. I've tried several of the Rome bars before. All of them were pretty satisfactory. There was nothing there that raised any flags or any problems. This is the highest carb one though. Hopefully it's got a fantastic taste, and I'm going to do that right now. And you can see how tough it is. It's not easy to open. It's a tough foil wrapping, exactly what you need with meat. You don't want any tiny hole or perforation, or you could end up with some serious illness if it started to rot. Obviously, take out the oxygen absorber. Don't eat that, please. I'm sure you're smart enough to know that. There we go. We have, again, it looks like a moist piece of giant thick jerky. And in fact, it actually is a bit more fibrous. So it looks pretty good. Let me do the aroma. It's actually coming across as being a sweet pork, kind of a sweet pork smell. Let's see if it tastes as good. Mm. Mm. Right. Right. That is a lovely, fresh, zangy flavor. It's definitely the prunes and the pineapple coming through. It's given a bit of a zing, and that sweet and that pork flavor is really combining to make something which is quite hearty, tasty, a bit chewy. It's it's a bit fibrous, but that's probably the whole idea of keeping the texture of meat. It's like a condensed meat, so it's even thicker. So let me try again. Mm, yeah. Now, yeah, that is really nice. I can taste the sugars dancing on my tongue there as well. It's definitely, the prune, the pineapple. That is flavors giving it that sweetness. It's giving it obviously the carbs, and it's got a nice kind of mild pork flavor. It's chewy. Um, yeah, very dense. So it's filling. When you take even one bite and chew and eat it, you can feel it going down. It feels literally like it's just coating your stomach and going, "I'm here." This will satisfy you if you, even for lunch, I would think, if you ate one of these bars. I've had several of them, and they are literally tasty, awesome. It tastes like you're eating a meal, and at the same time, it feels like you've got, in a good way, a brick in your stomach. You feel, hey, I don't feel hungry at all. They satiate your hunger perfectly. They are brilliant for that. So I've got to say, this one's got a nice little sweet zang to it. I'm going to give it 8 out of 10. It's very nice. And again, yes, as it's a snack, you really do need some carbs to brighten up your day. And this will do it nicely. You can taste that carb zang. So, all thumbs up there, 8 out of 10, a very good product. Again, my favorite though is the jalapeno and beef, low carb, high protein, and that's awesome. But this one here is awesome. So it's the premium pork, yes, one pork bar with subtle smoky and sweet flavors. That's exactly the title on it from Rome. So, guys, I'd say, if you think these are the ones for you, you can have a look here. You can see it is literally like a thick piece of meat. and it's very tasty. If you want to buy it, I'll put it down in the description. If you like it, thumbs up and subscribe, please. And now what we're going to do is we're going to have the ketone test to see if it's going to have any effect on the ketogenic diet. I've got a feeling it's all A-okay. Again, you've got a lot of fiber in certain fruits as well. So that's probably going to be there as well as you get within prunes and so on. So thumbs up is good. It's going to take a second for the test, and we'll know if it's obviously having any impact on the ketones in my urinalysis. And for me, it's going to be about 2 hours. Okay, guys, see you in a sec. Okay, guys, so coming back from the test, the Rome pork bar was totally fine. It seems pretty decent. I mean, it's meat, obviously, mostly, so it's going to be conducive for the diet. It does have, believe it or not, I think it was like, just over 5 grams of carb per serving. So obviously you have to be careful with that. But if you want something lower, go for the beef options, lower in carbs. But again, if you want this kind of fresh, vibrant, sweet flavor with the pork, that's the one to go for. So guys, we're going to give it to say that it totally helps keto. There's no problem with that. And also now we're going to move on with the ingredients. See you later. So you can see down here you have the packaging, very high quality, lovely logo, Rome. Pork bar with a subtle smoky and sweet flavor. Premium pork, whey protein, sea salt, apple cider vinegar, chicory root, pineapple and prunes. So we can see with this the protein's a lot less, but still it's quite high for a normal product. So if you have this amount of protein, it's very high anyway. So 13.7 is still a very good piece of protein to pump in there. The others offer about 7 or so grams more for the beef version. The turkey version, I believe, is about 2.5 to 3 grams more. This pork one is the lowest, but again, this has a slightly sweet kick. So you can taste the pineapple and the prunes and that sweet little tang from them, as well as that little vinegary from the apple cider vinegar. So we understand that, yeah, this is given something which the other bars won't give you. They're giving you a little bit of, like, the sweetness that you crave. So this will tick a box where you'll want a meat product, but you don't want the same kind of meaty flavor. You want meaty with a bit of sweetness. This ticks the box. And the reason it ticks the box is because it's still kind of quite low in carbs. So you're still looking at a low level of carbs that isn't too much, and the sugar is quite low itself. So moving on, we have pork here at 74.5%. So again, the actual percentage of meat is actually lower than the other bars as well. So you've got whey protein concentrate in there and canned pineapple, so which is pineapples, water, sugar, acidity regulator, citric acid. There you go. So you're getting carbs definitely instantly from that. And you've got prune concentrate, you've got chicory root fiber, brown sugar. So the prunes and the concentrate and the brown sugar, they're giving you carbs as well. Now, you've got sea salt, apple vinegar, which will have some carbs usually, spices, lemon flavoring, smoke flavoring, 0.05%. Which is quite interesting. I can't really taste the smoke flavor there. Lemon, yes, possibly. That with the vinegar and lemon, that's possible. That was in there in the flavors. I can't taste a smoked taste. Possibly, it could be my old taste buds, but I'm sure someone who's got some young, firing taste buds would, probably have something that would, give you more of an idea if that smoked flavor is there. Yet when I eat smoked bacon, I definitely can taste it. So overall, you can see why this has really double the amount of carbs than the other bars. So when you go out there, the quite interesting thing is that this was 8 out of 10. I think the beef with salt and pepper, that was 8.5, and the nicest one was the jalapeno one, which I gave a 9. That was really nice. I love that spicy kick, and that really is one thing that I feel that helps suppress your appetite, as well as gives you that kick that you're missing to give the variety and that flavor. So this one gives you that sweet tick, and yes, I enjoyed it, but the spicy one did the same for me as well. It gave me that extra oomph and went, oh, this is different, this is nice. And that is why it got the highest marks. Now, it's 45 grams per bar. We can see here, it's built with premium cuts of pork. Yeah, this meat is actually quite tasty, so I really believe that they are using high quality meat. We've got the nutrition here, which is per 45-gram bar, and that's the weight of this sealed one here. So you've got the fat at 5 grams, and of that you've got 2.1 grams of fat. And this is the interesting thing that you have, because some people think you should have this balance within the foods that you're eating for a ketogenic diet. That's a myth. That's not accurate at all. But what they're trying to say is that they're saying roughly this should be the spread. Well, as long as you have 20 grams and you don't go over that, you'll always be fine in your ketogenic diet. Okay. And when you see this here, this is perfectly fine. It's got 5.1 grams of carbohydrate and 2.1 grams of which sugars. So you've got a tiny little amount of sugar there. It's not going to spike your blood sugar that much. And that's what you'll also have to be worried about, because, the spike in blood sugar will stop or slow down your ketosis. Now, fiber is 0.1 grams, which is quite low. Protein, which is 13.7 grams, which is high. But for these bars, it's the lowest one. And for salt, 0.4 grams. Now that is very interesting, because all the other bars have a very high salt content, pretty much over double this, something like two to 3 times the amount of salt. Now, when you see this, obviously, if you're someone who's sensitive to salt, this may be the one to go for. For me, myself, I kind of understand, that salt is usually necessary for you, and you usually have problems from white refined sugars and flour, like that. Stuff like that usually inflames your arteries and causes issues. Fat and salt, stuff like these, don't really cause issues unless you consume in outrageous amounts. And 6 grams is the daily amount that NHS now prescribes. It used to say 3, and then it realized, oops, we've got to go higher, because salt is vital. Just like if you're in the desert, you die from lack of salt first rather than lack of water. The salt that you use, you have it as sodium chloride. Sodium is a metal. You use the ions in your brain and your nervous system, so they use action potentials for the positive charge there. And what you have is, you also have, to understand the chlorine, which is chloride, when you in the naming, when you put them together, that's the chlorine is, you'll be thinking, where do I use that? Surely this salt is so useless. No, the chlorine comes and helps to make hydrochloric acid. So you, in your body, when you digest your sodium chloride, you're making hydrochloric acid for your stomach, as well as making good thought pathways with your salt. So the sodium is doing that, and when you have plenty of these, you think clearly and efficiently. So on these diets, usually you realize that, and so you've got to make sure you have a good amount of salt, because you'll get keto flu on this diet, or you'll get some other issues like feeling maybe down, possibly. I personally have only experienced them once or twice when I first started the diet about 25 years ago. Since then, none. Okay, so I'll stop rambling now. So you can see that the ingredients are still conducive for a ketogenic diet. It contains 1/4 of your allowance for carbs in the day. Pretty much after you process it and digest it, it will be about, you absorb 5 or 4.9 grams. So yes, it's something which you would eat once a day, and you'd obviously want to be aware and count carefully the grams that you consume. Right, guys. So that's the main idea. A bit of a spiel at the end there. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Okay, so the Rome bar pork with a smoky and sweet flavor is definitely a thumbs up. It's tasty, it's delicious, it's ketogenic, it's a little bit high on the side, but count your carbs, you'll be fine. Okay, guys, so see you in the next one.